Hey guys, it's Miss Joseph and I'm going over your tutorial for today. It focuses on the activity that we want you guys to do. So I'm going to explain what we expect of you and I'm going to show you how to use the program that we're asking you to use. So we've spent a little bit of time on atmosphere now. You guys should be comfortable with what's happening in each layer. You should know a couple of characteristics and details for each layer. So what we're asking you guys to do is to choose a layer of the atmosphere, a main layer. So you're either going to choose troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, or thermosphere. And within that layer, you are going to create a fictional superhero for that layer, or you can choose to make a villain for that layer. Okay, so once you decide whether you want a superhero or a villain, this is the kind of stuff we expect with whatever character you're choosing. You need to include a name for your superhero or villain. You need to tell me about their strengths or weaknesses. So if it's a superhero, you can tell me what kind of great things they do. Are they strong? Are they powerful? Or you could say something that they lack in, so like a weakness. And then the same for a villain if you're choosing a villain. You also need to say how they can protect that layer or humans or whatever, so if they're a superhero. Or you need to describe how they can destroy things like the layer or the humans. And then I want you guys to draw a picture of your said superhero or villain. Colored, make it look cool. It'll be great. I'm excited. So how you're going to get this information across to us is you're going to be using FlipGrid. Okay? FlipGrid is a program where I'll give you a link, you click on it, and you can add a recording to my topic. So the topic will be atmosphere. You can add a recording to atmosphere, and in your recording, that's when you're going to cover these things. So what you've named it, its strengths or weaknesses, how they can protect or destroy, and then a colored picture of them. So you'll hold up your picture and describe your superhero or villain by using FlipGrid. Now the presentation for today that we did in the live session covered exactly step by step how to use FlipGrid. So I'm going to start at the beginning of that presentation with you guys and show you step by step how to use it, and then I'll actually show you like in person or live how to do it. So for FlipGrid, the first step is your teacher will post a link for how you can add to the discussion board or topic in FlipGrid, and you will click on that link, okay? It'll be in Google Classroom. When you click on that link, it'll bring you to a screen that looks like this, that says join with Google or join with Microsoft. You're going to want to join with Google with your @jcsnc.org email, okay? So choose join with Google. It'll make it easy so you don't have to like make a login and all that stuff. Once you join with Google, you'll be introduced to this screen. So you'll see here atmosphere is what I've labeled my thread. And what you'll do to show us your superhero or villain is you're going to be recording a response. So you click this big rectangle right here that says record a response. When you do that, it's going to come up with like a message that asks for FlipGrid to use your microphone and your camera. You're going to allow that, okay? If you block it, we can't hear you or see you. So you've got to allow it. If you don't have a computer that shows that you have a microphone and a camera, use a cell phone or an iPad or some type of device that does, okay? So once you click allow, it will enable the speaker and the camera, and it will show up like this. It'll be like a live recording of what's going on. To start your video, once you're ready, you will click the video camera button down here and it will start recording you, okay? You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to present. If it takes you shorter amount of time, great, but you can't go over 1 minute and 30 seconds, okay? So when you get started, you press the little camera button like we talked about in the last step, and then it'll start recording you. And it has a bunch of cool little features that I added here in your tutorial. There's one that looks like a little sticky note here. You can click that button, add sticky note, and you can put little sticky notes up here, maybe of like key points of things you want to say to help you remember. That's a cool feature. There is also the ability to add effects. So you'll see the button down here that says effects. When you click on it, it opens up a whole bunch of different effects that you can add. It lets you add photos, you can draw stuff, you can type stuff, you can do emojis, you can put frames around things. So just play around with it. And if you don't want to use any of the effects, you don't have to, okay? It's just something fun that you can add to your presentation. Now, when you are done, if you finish before your time is up, go ahead and click that pause button, okay? And then it'll bring you to a screen that'll ask you to confirm. You will click that confirm button and your video will be sent. And it'll ask you first to take a selfie so that you have a little default picture. So when you're ready, you press the camera button to take your selfie. And then to submit your video, the very last step, you put your name in and you click submit. Okay, so super easy. Now I'm going to show you live how to do this as well so you can see it firsthand. So here's what will pop up when you click the link from Google Classroom. You're going to choose Join with Google. Okay, so I'm going to use my kids' email because, you know, I'm resourceful. And it brings me to the atmosphere page. If I want to record a response, I click that. It asks to allow my camera. It tells me I have 1 minute and 30 seconds to record. Okay, it says click anywhere to dismiss, so I'm going to click there. And now you see two of me talking, right? So let's say I am ready to do my recording. So I'm going to press the camera button. It gives me a countdown. Now it's recording my presentation. All right. Like I said, you can add sticky notes. So let's say I was doing the stratosphere and I have Strato Man. And I want to remember that he protects us from UV rays. And I think it's really important to talk about that in my presentation. So I'm going to do that. There's my little sticky note, okay? You can add as many as you want all around the sides. There's also special effects that you can play around with. There are different frames. So like there I added little bubbles. I framed my top half. There's some cool weird unicorn with buck teeth that jumps. I don't even know. So there are like super cool frames you can play around with. You can draw on it, whatever you want to do. Okay, yay, there I am. Okay, so there are so many cool effects that you can do with this. Once you're done and you've done your presentation, click the pause button, okay, and then you see next right there. But I can't really click it because, you know, my little face is down there. So, yeah, I can't get to it because my thing doesn't allow me to present. Meh. Okay, so if I was done, I would click next right there, and then it would ask me to submit and finish. Okay, so I'm going to continue recording. Let's let my time go all the way out and see what it'll tell me. So if you reach the point to where you have gone your whole minute and 30 seconds, you finally got it done right as time ran out, that's okay. See how it turns red when you have 10 seconds left? So I've got to hurry up and say everything I want to say because it's about to cut me off and then I can't submit it and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm done. Now it's recording my presentation. All right. Like I said, you can add sticky notes. So let's say okay, so then it lets you review, right? And then you can click next. I just can't because of the program that I'm recording in. So you would click next, and then you would take your selfie and you would submit, okay? So that is exactly how we need for you guys to do this activity. If you have problems with it, make sure that you email us and we will try to help you and work out any technical difficulties, but make sure you make a drawing of your superhero or villain and you talk about the name that you named it, strengths or weaknesses, how they protect or destroy, and you have that awesome colored picture of them, okay? So email us if you have any problems, and we can't wait to see them.